the sword of truth, I stand and fight. In the armor of God, my future is bright. Sharpened like steel, by His word I'm made. In the battle of faith I'll never be swayed. The blade of His love cuts through the lies. With the strength of the Savior I rise, I rise, I rise.
Morning, everybody. Welcome back to Bubba's EDC. It is 6:23 in the morning, and it is pouring down rain here at home. So I'm leaving out a little early to head up to Anderson, South Carolina for the knife get-together, meetup, whatever you want to call it. So it's dark, not dark out. Sun isn't really up yet. So this is just a little dome light up here to do this. So we've got to get some gas, get some caffeine, and hit the road, Jack. See y'all in a bit. Well, we on the road. I say we, just me. Got soaking wet at the gas station. Man, I decided I wanted to wear comfortable shoes today because I don't drive, multiple hours very often. So I, got my Hey Dudes. Man, the water was rain was coming down so much that it was like standing all across the parking lot of the gas station. And my shoes and my socks are soaked. So my shoes are under the floor vent down there trying to dry, and my socks are on the dash trying to dry. Daggum. But I should be out of the rain here next 30 minutes or so once I get closer to Athens, Georgia. And it looks like I'm going to get to, as long as there's no traffic or anything, looks like I'll get to Anderson about an hour early. So if I need to go, grab some socks I hate Walmart, but if I need to go grab some socks or something, I can. But who knows, maybe there will be a pawn shop or something opens at 9, and I can look around a little before the 10 o'clock meetup time. So we'll see. Just moseying on up the road, as my dad would say. So we'll holler at y'all in a bit. Whoa, I cannot tell y'all the last time I was on I-85 and there was this little traffic. I love it. This is awesome. This reminds me of during COVID. Which granted, I didn't really have to get on 85 much, or any of the interstates much during COVID, but man, this is nice. Like, I can just set my cruise and just go. I could probably punch up the speed. Speed limit 70. I'm doing 71. I'm not a speed freak, speed demon, whatever you want to call it. I've never really had a need for speed. I just get there when I get there, but I'm always early. On time is late usually, except for work. Like my work, I get there sometimes right on the dot, sometimes 15 minutes early. It just depends, especially with taking my brother to work now. But here's Tanger Outlets. So we're up near Commerce. I keep saying we. I'm the only one in the car. It's just a habit. Up near Commerce, there's at least there used to be a drag strip here for hot rods. I'm not sure if it's still active or not. I don't remember. But back in the 90s, I never actually got to come. My dad didn't want me near that element, that environment, so wasn't able to do that. But there used to be one up here. Then got falling on a tangent and forgot what I was talking about. That happens when you're over 40. Oh, anyways, yeah, work. So I like to be early to everything. Sundays I'm an hour early almost to church, get everything set up. Sunday nights not so much. Wednesday nights not so much. They're only 30 minutes. But it seems like if something's going to go wrong, it'd go wrong on Sunday morning, so I get there early. Give me time if there's something to troubleshoot. But yeah, just always early. So I always said I'll be early up here. Who knows? Somebody else might be early too. I'll be on the same road right here. Randy will be on this road too. 85, but I don't know what time he will be. I know what he drives, but I don't know what color it is. And I left so early. He's like, when you get on 85, he's like, call me. He's like, we can meet up and ride together. But I got my shoes and socks drying on the dash. I feel weird getting in a man's vehicle. Of course, he could jump in this one, but this car is small. This is a Chevy Trax. It's a little bitty. But it gets the job done. So, anywho, just felt like rambling for a second. Been listening to Dry Bar Comedy on my phone. If y'all don't know what that is, it's a place out in Utah. It's all clean comedy. A whole bunch of different comedians. Some of it's pretty funny. Dennis Regan, one of my favorites, just hilarious. Warren B. Hall, he's funny. Cam Bertrand, he's a young kid. He's funny. Now, if you watch his stuff outside of Dry Bar, he's very explicit. But on Dry Bar, that's a requirement that it's clean. It's actually, I believe, Dry Bar's put on by Angel Studios, who does the VidAngel app, if y'all know what that is. You can connect your Netflix and, let's say, Netflix, Paramount, Peacock, Amazon. Nope, not Paramount. Netflix, Peacock, Amazon to it, and you can filter out nudity, curse words, gore, violence, all kind of stuff. So I believe they're the ones that kind of run the Dry Bar stuff. Not 100%. Anyways, just rambling. Coming up on Toccoa. If any of y'all ever heard of Toccoa Falls, Georgia, there's a college here. I think it's called Toccoa Falls. My wife and kids came here and did a tour a few months back. Or maybe it's Toccoa Christian College. I don't remember. But yeah, Toccoa. So I'm about I'm 8:09, about an hour and a half. Hour and 15 from home right now. But finally the rain stopped, so I'm thankful for that. I can just mosey on, and it's a beautiful day here in Georgia. So we'll holler at y'all a little later. See ya. Well, I'm in Anderson. 8:45. Not meeting till 10, but that's all right. So I looked just to see, at least down in Georgia where I'm in my area, stuff on Saturday, antique stores, pawn shops, they don't open till 10. But I found one up here, Anderson Gun and Pawn, I think is what it's called. It opens at 9, which is about 15 minutes away. I think is what I just said. 8:40. Yeah, about 15 minutes away. So I'm gonna shoot on over there. It's only about 10 minutes away from the Cracker Barrel. So shoot over there and see what we can find. Not looking to buy anything because I don't need to spend any money unless something's just a crazy good deal that I can't pass up. So yeah, we'll holler at y'all in a bit. Well, nothing really in the pawn shop. They had a little colonial fish knife for 20 bucks. I probably could have got it for cheaper, but not really my thing. And the scales were kind of loose on it. So we're gonna head back this way, and there's a Tractor Supply over here. Whip on into Tractor Supply and see if their knives are on clearance up here, and then head on over to the place and just wait. So that's the plan. Well, Tractor Supply was a bust. They actually had all theirs locked up in a big, like 6 foot tall glass cabinet, and then inside the clamshells inside of that. So the ones down by me, they're not in a glass cabinet. They are in clamshells now, but not the cabinet. So anyways, they just texted me and some of the guys are there, so I'm headed over. I'm about 14 minutes away. It's 9:30. So we'll see what's next. Well, we're done. It's 1:41. Been here for a while. Get out of this parking lot. We had a good time. Saw a lot of beautiful knives. Some gifts were exchanged. I don't know if any trades were actually done. Some purchases were made. I'm halfway into a trade with somebody. He wanted one that I have, so I just let him take it with him. We'll talk about that later. But anyways, I'm on the road, headed back to Conyers, Georgia, so I can go to my son's last high school event ever. Wow, it's crazy. But I'll talk to y'all later on. God bless. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Bubba's EDC. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. God bless you for the role you play. It's quite a sacrifice. You're very important. You absolutely are. So happy Mother's Day. Hope you milk it for all it's worth. I'm gonna do this Sunday evening can't think of the word. The haul or the finale of the meetup we had yesterday in Anderson, South Carolina. We had a good time. Left early yesterday, as you saw earlier. I'm sorry that the thing's shaking. I'm on a rickety table here, so I'll just get off of it and stop touching the table. But it poured rain till I got the other side of Atlanta. Then it stopped. And then while we were there at the Cracker Barrel, of course, it started raining, and I drove home the whole way in the rain. So that sucked. I don't like driving in the rain. Too many dummies. It takes longer. Just, everything. So, but we made it. We had a good time yesterday. When I got there, man, the weather was perfect temperature. It was like 65 maybe. Overcast, so I mean, you kind of knew rain was coming, but so I had my windows down and I had some gospel blaring as I pulled in the Cracker Barrel parking lot. Look, if people can go around, blaring their curse word filled music loud as they want, I can blare my gospel music loud too. It's only fair. But so as I'm pulling around, Nate had texted me and said where he was parked, so I was looking for Nate. To park near him. That's my bud. And as I'm pulling up, I see a guy leaning in a car, and I hear somebody say, "Bubba." Well, I didn't know the guy. So I was like, well, he must be one of the guys I don't know, obviously. So I pulled in a parking spot, and I'm getting out of the car, stretching, I've been out a little bit earlier, Tractor Supply in that pawn shop, but still was just kind of sore from over 2 hours driving. And so I got out, and he peeked around the car. He's like, "Brother Bubba." I was like, "Hey man, I don't know who you are, but let me get my big butt over there." So I squeezed between the cars, and it's George, Brother George Bramblett, from South Carolina. And he don't have a channel, but he's always in the chats and commenting on the videos. Just a super supportive guy. Just super nice. Nate sat between me and him when we got inside, but I sat and talked with him. Just a super nice guy. So then out of the car, he said, "Well, there's Jerry." And so Jerry Phillips, and Jerry does have a channel posting some shorts and stuff, so I'll tag him here. He does leather work and things. I feel like there is a hair there. I knew I wasn't crazy. So Jerry got out. As soon as he got out of the car, I was like, "Oh, I'd have known that was him because Miami Dolphins gear." He's a Dolphins fan, so I recognized Jerry by that. I'd never met him before, or seen him, but knew the Dolphins gear. So hugged both of them, shook their hands. I was like, "Well, Nate's right over there. Let me go get Nate." So I went and got Nate, and Nate and I, we childhood friends. We've been knowing each other for over 30 years. So, it's just instant hug, big old bear hug. I was like, "Man, I love you, man." He's like, "I love you too." I hadn't seen him since Ellaville. So it was good to see him again. And he handed me something. So we'll just I'll try to go in order of events, if that's okay. It's my channel. That's what we're going to do. And where he works in the metal shop, the steel company, he runs a laser. And he made me one of these. Isn't that cool? So I don't know if I'm just going to polish it and leave it shiny, or if I'm going to paint it. I'm tempted just to leave it shiny. I am a redneck. Rednecks do like some chrome. Now, like on a truck, I'm not really a chrome guy. You know, I like everything blacked out. But I do like some chrome. You know, Jeff Foxworthy said that's why bass boats are shiny, to attract us rednecks. So very cool and Nate. I don't know if y'all can tell how big that is. Pretty good size. It's about 8 inches across. So fantastic. There's another hair. So my wife and my daughter both, they don't cut their hair. So they have very long hair. So hair will just get places. And it's on this table, right in the hinge. There we go. Got her. And then Nate stuck his hand out like this. Tangent squirrel. And so I put my hand out, and he put that in my hand. It's one he'd been toting, which makes it better for me. It's 2024, carbon steel. This is the problem with the etch, though, case. When you do the etch, it's wearing off. It wears off. Case knives, I hope you see this. You ought to be ashamed. But Nate had heard, I think it was in a video chat one day or a group chat, something, and I something about, I need a yellow Saudi Junior. Now I got one. So Nate, love you, buddy. I do. I don't need no gifts from you to say I love you. I left something in the room. Be right back. All right, I'm back. I got had something I'd left in the room that I got to show later. So got that stuff from Nate. Him and I, we walked over and I introduced him to George and Jerry, even though I had just met them too. Introduced them, and as we're standing there, I see this tall feller come walking up, and I heard Nate, I think it was heard Nate say Chase. And sure enough, there's Chase. So Chase, we've been talking back and forth. We got a group of us that chat every day, and he has some shorts on YouTube. He's really big on Instagram. He's been buying and selling knives for years and years. He ain't but 20 or 21 years old. Man's got a fantastic knife collection. But here he come, all 6'4", 6'5" of him, whatever it was. So that's my first time meeting him. So good old Chase. It was like I'd known him, you know, because we've been talking, like I said, basically every day for months, a group of us. So we all started chit-chatting. We already started looking at knives right there. Jerry already had some out on the back of his car. Him and George were looking at. So we jumped in and started looking at some different ones. And then George was like, oh, I want to give you your stuff. So George had texted me. We started texting a while back, and said he was going to make me something. And then he sent me some pictures of it. And I was just overwhelmed, blown away. So he made me 2 of these knife displays. So he, clear coated it on top, real nice. But this one, he put my sticker on it. How cool is that? So I was considering, like, I have one of those little handheld drill presses that you can set the depth. And I was considering setting the depth and doing some magnets inset, but I don't know. Don't know if I want to drill into it or not. So that's up in the air. But then he also gave me a bag of stag lanyard beads. Very, very awesome. And a stag keychain. And I actually put one of the stag lanyard beads on my folding hunter that I toted to church today for Mother's Day. And I toasted that a little bit with a butane lighter. Very, very cool. So I knew he was doing some stuff. He might have even told me about these. I don't remember. I'm over 40. But this he did not tell me about. He said, oh, I got you this too. It's a Gerber fixed blade. There's your Gerber logo right there. There's your model number right there, if that'll focus. Don't know. 88311120A. So very, very nice. Very lightweight. Very, very lightweight. So I'll have to figure out how to tote it, because with it being built like that, all that with my largeness, we'll just say that, I don't know how well that'll work. So I might see if Mario, I get some hints from Mario. I know he converted a 110 sheath to a cross draw by doing some leather straps. So I might hit up Mario on that. But thank you very much, George. That was just awesome. And then Jerry had something for me too. Jerry does leather. And if you go check his channel out, definitely subscribe to him. And he made this for me. Put some beads on there too. How cool is that? So today I actually toted my mini copper lock in that. Works great. Couple squeezes because it's brand new, but works great. So awesome, Jerry. Thank you so much, brother. And I'll tag his channel in the description as well. So yeah, like I said, we was all sitting there as what, 1, 2, 5 of us. 1, 2, 5. That's how we count now. Excuse me. I tell you what, that 4-hour round trip yesterday, that took it out of me. It really did. So we went inside and eventually found that the other guys already had a table. So we went back there, and Justin was back there, SC Knife Monkey, and very nice guy. I never met him. First time I met him. And so he had a sticker for me there. And then Randy from Georgia Adventure. So now Randy, I'd never met in person. We were at the Ellaville Knife Show at the same time, but we just didn't know each other back then. But Randy, we talk all the time, and it was like Randy was family. Like we just hit it off, talking. He just felt like an uncle. Like I could have just sat and talked with him all day, or or we'd went and worked in the yard or worked in the garage together or something. He just a good down to earth guy. So yeah, it was awesome. And he had a bunch of leather sheaths he was passing out to everybody. And he threw them all kind of like in front of me. So I just, being the first guy right there, I didn't want to be greedy. So I just passed them on down. So I didn't get one. But that's fine. And he actually said he'll make me one. I was wanting one of the coffin ones, which he had 1 or 2 of them there, but they got gone real quick. And then he was giving out leather bracelets too, but my wrist just too big, way too big. Here we go again. Excuse me. But Randy and I had already worked out a trade prior to even getting there. We were talking one day, and he said knife he was bringing, a buck 110. I was like, I need a buck 110. I was like, I just traded mine away for that Remington banana trapper. He's like, well, I got one. I was like, trying to think about value, I don't want to short the man. I was like, well, he likes Fulton Hunters. I was like, well, I've got a Craftsman. I was actually on the call with him and Mike from Make Cutlery Great Again, just the 3 of us. And I was like, well, I got a Craftsman folding hunter that Mike and I had traded for, that I traded from Mike. And Mike's like, oh, Randy, that thing's mint. Still has all the etching on the blade, the ACA edge, sharp edge, Craftsman, whatever all it says. And Randy's like, I'm good with that. So, I mean, they're both around 60, 65 bucks, whatever it is. And it had like a gun, like a revolver style, for a 6-gun, like a revolver style, belt sheath with it. So we did that like right away. So we get it out of the way. He actually put this in front of me first. I was like, oh, we're doing that now. Okay. So I grabbed mine. So traded for this. Ain't nothing I gotta tell you about a 110. It's got looks like a plus sign, but the bottom is just the dot. So this is like between a 2016 and 2020, if I remember those dates right. I don't know exactly, but y'all, it just needs to have the bolsters polished. Like the blade is mint. I can't, if it's ever been sharpened, I can't tell. And it came from Randy, which is cool. It's got the sheath. So got me a 110 again. So that was awesome. And then Justin, so who else was there? All right, so trying to go in order. So a couple more guys were coming, they weren't there yet. So Justin, I heard him talking to Randy. He said something about a knife he had taken a blade out of. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna give this, if anybody wants it, they can have it. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, you fix any knives? I was like, well, I got a Boker I took apart, I'm gonna put back together. He's like, here, you can have this if you want it. So this is an old case. I guess it was a 2-blade, like a pin blade. I don't know. But like the bone's in pretty good shape. Still got the shield on it. Only has the one little blade now. But if I can figure out what kind of blade goes in here, I might make a little single blade gentleman's knife or something somewhere along the way. If nothing else, it's a fun project. He's like, you just have it. He's like, see what you want to do with it. I was like, well, I appreciate it. So yeah, no clue, 80s, 90s, 2000s. No, not 2000s, older, I don't know. 90s and back, I don't know where it would be. But very cool. Appreciate that, Justin. And then somewhere in there, he came up to me and said, you was in the service, right? He's like, Sailor, Air Force? I was like, Air Force. He's like, well, this has an, oops, sorry. So this has an anchor on it, but I won't give this to you. I was like, well, I appreciate it. So it has the bag, which I'd never heard of the company. That don't mean nothing if I don't know it. I'm still new. So I'm gonna guess that's Baladeo. But it's a very good looking knife. It's got the anchor on it, it's got the bail, and it's like a half hawk. So don't know nothing about it. Looks like it needs a little oil in the pivot, but it's got good snap. Can't tell if it's wood or some kind of a synthetic wood. I think it's wood. But very nice of him. Very nice of you, Justin. Thank you very much. Justin was trying to make sure everybody was good, you know, and since he's been to every one of these things, he was trying to make sure everybody was good, having a good time, and he was even make sure the waitress, because she had all of us rowdy fellers, she had everybody tipped her good and all that. So appreciate you, Justin. And so then gentleman Dwayne Letterman showed up. He was about 30 minutes late, maybe. He's a subscriber. I'm sure y'all see him in the lives and stuff. Very nice guy. He's really into moderns. Had a lot of nice moderns, which I'm not into the nice moderns because my moderns are users. So like I tote my old knives, my traditionals. Now the sawbusters I use, but like, you know, even like my trappers and stuff, I don't use them. I got the one old one, or the one that was all beat up at the pawn shop. That one I'll probably end up being a user, but most of them they're just pretty and I just tote them. I know that upsets a lot of people, but as Stan says, collect your own way. So anyways, was looking at all of Dwayne's knives. Looked at everybody's knives. So not many pictures. I'll try to throw some pictures in here and there. There's not going to be many because you get sidetracked talking and visiting, and then you get sidetracked looking at knives. Excuse me. And then you get sidetracked eating because Cracker Barrel's pretty good. So you just get sidetracked. So I took a few, when everybody had knives on the table, I took a few pictures, and I think I might have done one little video, maybe. I don't remember. But I'll throw some videos in right here. No, pictures in right here. Throw some pictures in right here.
I'll talk about it. If you want to get rid of that red bone toe, you know.
That ain't red bone.
Right.
Red bone.
I like the way the blade is shaped. I bought it at a gun show.
But it was good time. So like Dwayne had, man, he had some nice moderns. He had a Chavez. He had tried to hand it to me. I said, nope, I ain't touching it. I said, I don't need that. I don't need that Craven flung on me to want something like that. I forget what the other one he had. Man, he had some nice ones. He had a old German eye brand canoe. It was old, real good shape. But yeah, very nice guy. So on the very end, you had Justin, that side of the table, and then Dwayne, and then Randy, and an empty seat, and then Chase, and then me, then an empty seat, and then Nate, then an empty seat, and George, and then Jerry. That's how it was until Cornbread showed up. So Cornbread, if any of y'all saw his short today, he was coming from 4 hours away from a job, I believe is what it was. So he got there, it might have been an hour, a little over an hour late. Man, y'all talk about such a nice guy. I was so tickled that he was there that I finally got to meet him. Yeah, so, which I've already got a sticker, but now I've got another one. So he gave me one of his Hunting for Hooker stickers and a business, actually, maybe there's 2 stickers. I hadn't opened it. Let's see. So a business card, big sticker. Oh, I don't have one of these. I like big knives, I cannot lie. Awesome. Every time Big Jim shows one of these on his shorts here lately, I literally, every time say, man, I want one of those. I didn't know where they come from. Now I do. Thank you, Cornbread. Thank you very much. So he ended up sitting on the end cap between Justin and Dwayne. So, and Cornbread, boy, he brought some big old knives, some Jed Hornbeak fixed blades. One of them, I was like, I just kind of held it up after I looked at it, and I just stared at him like this. You know, imagine I'm turning to my left, and finally I catch his eye because he's talking. He stops. I was like, this is ridiculous. I was like, this thing weighs like 4 pounds. He started laughing. I was like, dude, this is nuts. He said, that's a real bushcraft. You know, that's survival. Had ferro rod, everything on it. I was like, this is ridiculous. I said, I don't want to tote no knife that's 4 pounds. It legit had to be 2.5, 3 pounds. Just a heavy, heavy knife. I mean, the blade stock was over 1/4 inch thick. It was nuts. And then that was made by Jed Hornbeak. And then the other one was, now that one was really nice. A lot smaller. Super, super nice. And he had a little cold steel fixed blade. I didn't even want to touch it because they told me what it was going for on eBay. I was like, nah, just keep that down there. Keep that. But we just had a real good time. And then I went and sat down there with George and Jerry. Of course, Nate and I talked the whole time. Nate tried to sit on the other side of the table. I said, you sit right here. I was like, you're my best friend. Sit right here so you and I can talk the whole time. You know, we're best friends. So if somebody says something stupid, we're going to whisper to each other. But Chase was right across from me. So I had Randy and Chase, me, and then Nate. So, and all 4 of us, we talk every day. So it was just like old friends. I mean, really. And even George and Jerry, like I didn't get to talk to Justin very much. Justin was on the other end. Just Justin and Cornbread and Dwayne, they know each other pretty well. So they talked a lot. So I went down and talked with George and Jerry because we've been texting, me and Jerry and me and George. I know that's not right grammar, but whatever. We've been texting back and forth here lately. And them 2 guys as well, it was like I just knew them. You know, like I've known them for a long time. Just good people. Just instantly connected. Real good guys. Real good guys. Trying to think if there was. So Nate had pulled out everybody pulled out knives. And Nate pulled out this little camp knife. And I looked at it. I was like, oh, it's an Ulster. And it's a Boy Scout knife. And then he also had an LB5. It does have the Craft Company branding on it. But it has the sheath and everything, brand new in the box. I was like, well, I said, I'm not spending no cash. I said, so see if there's anything in my case, you know, that you're interested in. And so he looked through and he didn't really find nothing. I was trying to work a deal with Chase too, and Chase has got some bangers. So like nothing I had was for Chase. I thought we'll work something out later because he had an old German Granddaddy Barlow that I'm interested in. So Nate and I, we weren't able to work a deal, but that's fine. I was like, we'll work something out eventually. And so we're talking and I'm looking this way, just talking to somebody. And I turn back this way and he's opening my carrying case, trying to shove this knife in. I said, whoa, 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 what are you doing? He's like, nothing. I was like, He's like, Brian Wilson Hembry. I was like, no, I don't accept that. I was like, you done gave me a knife today. I was like, I didn't bring you a knife today. Well, I did, but it was a pen with a knife, so not really. Anyways, so he just set it out, kind of like huffed at me, you know, like friends do. And a little while later, we're talking. So we might have been outside at that point. I don't know. And he said something about that camp knife in your bag. I was like, did you really do that? And he just gave me that. I was like, you butthead. So I'm going to get him. I'll get him back. So it's in great shape, y'all. And I'm not even really a camp knife guy, but it had the Boy Scout, which I think that's what it is. It's got the fleur-de-lis, is that how you say it? At Ulster USA. I mean, there's no meat gone on that blade. All the metal's there. You know I don't slam them blades no more. Got the awl. Got the can opener. And the bottle opener, cap lifter. Or I'm sorry, flathead screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, and cap lifter. Now, Kevin, I love you, but you're not getting this one. Alabama knife and tool, not getting this one. So I'll get Nate back. I'll get him. That's what friends do. He'll get something unsuspecting in the mail one day. So then we went outside. Oh, well, Jerry and I were working it. We're wanting to work it. Well, he was wanting to work a trade. I had a Queen Big Chief. So not the one that I had took the serrations off of, the good one. Which I had told him it was available, you know, if he wanted it. And him and George were just talking about the snap on it, because the snap on that thing is unlike any other knife I've ever held. And one of them said something about that snap wearing out. I was like, that snap ain't never gonna wear out. I think it's just insane. So Jerry had some, man, some 70s stuff that was just, he had a 74 copperhead and a 76 copperhead. I was really wanting one of them. And he basically was telling me, all right, well, you know, pick out something. I was like, well, no, I don't, you know, this is like a $25 knife at the most. You know, I think I don't take advantage of nobody. He's like, well, I'm good. No. So he's like, well, I got other knives in the car. He said, I got probably 100 knives in the car. You know, some fixer-uppers and stuff that's just not this quality. I'm like, okay. So when we all went outside, everybody started looking through his knives. And I think Randy bought some and George bought some. So I don't know what Randy got. Randy and George, or I don't know what they got. They might have got the good ones. I was one who was supposed to look at them, and they got to them first. Well, that's fine, though. But there was nothing in there that was just speaking to me. So I told him, I was like, look, just take it with you. I was like, I know who you are. Everybody knows you. We'll work out the trade later. I ain't sweating that. So at some point, him and I will work something out. And if we don't, whatever. It's a knife. Ain't no big deal. I wouldn't cry over it. If we didn't work something out, I'd just tell him to keep it. So we just had a good time. I got to stand there and talk with Cornbread for a few minutes. Man, just such a nice guy. He gave me a little bit of his background, his testimony. I hit it off with him. I really, really did. Even though he likes orange, he likes them Clemson colors. But, man, I really hit it off with him. I really, really did. So it was a good time, and they say they try to do it every month. I can't commit to that. I got a family. Yesterday was kind of a perfect storm. My wife had something to do. My kids had something to do. And yes, I had to be back last evening for my son's final theater show of high school, but I made it back with an hour to spare. So that was kind of a perfect storm, but I definitely will not commit to once a month or even once every 2 months because my family is going to come before that. But if I can do it here and there, I'll do it. Maybe we can get some of them a little closer this way in Georgia, because Randy and I, we drove the farthest. We both drove 2 hours plus. Nate drove about an hour and a half, hour and 15, something like that. I think all the rest of the guys drove around, well, some of them drove less than 30 minutes and some of them drove, I guess, around 45 or so. So maybe at some point we'll get some a little closer this way. But it was a good time, had a real good time. And then got to my son. So I drove back all the way in the rain, pouring down rain. Idiots everywhere on the interstate, I-85. Lord have mercy. We get to my son's show. I'm there an hour early, so we're waiting, and the show started 30 minutes late. So I was really an hour and a half early. But at intermission, my daughter came up to me and said that a young man who was in the show, so they did The Wizard of Oz. This young man played the Cowardly Lion, or Lion Without Courage. I think it's called the Cowardly Lion.
It is.
Okay, they just told me it is. So, y'all, he killed it. I've never seen the Wizard of Oz movie. I've just seen a few clips here and there. And the clips I've seen of the lion, this young man killed it. I don't know how old he is. I'm guessing 14, 15, 16. He nailed it. His name is Kyle, right?
Yes.
Got it right. All right. So they told me, they came to intermit. Hey, my daughter went and told him, my dad thinks you're still in the show. He's like, oh, your dad's here? She's like, yeah. He's like, oh, I want to meet him. She's like, oh, hey, really? Why? He's like, I watch his videos. She's like, are you for real? And apparently earlier in the day, he had asked my son, my oldest son, who just graduated, if I was going to be there because he wanted to meet me. And my son's like, why? He's like, because I watch your dad's videos. So I met him last night. Super nice, super respectful young guy. And how much he first thing he said to me is, sir, you have such good kids, or great kids, whatever. I'm like, I'm not used to young people talking like that, about especially about other young people. I was like, yeah, they're good kids. I appreciate it. And so we started talking, and I was like, would you like some channel stickers? Or maybe my daughter asked him, I forget. And he's like, yeah. So I had all my stuff with me. So I went out to the car and got him some stickers. So Kyle, shout out, buddy. Appreciate you watching. Sincerely, you did a heck of a job as the lion. It was definitely the best part of the show for me. I wish they could have recorded it, but they didn't have the license to record it. But it was hilarious. I'm sure it's better than the movie. It's got to be better than the movie because it was so good. It really was. For a high school performance, it was so good. So yesterday was a good day. If I wouldn't have had to deal with the rain, it would have been great. But beyond that, it was great. And before I forget, I saw these sitting over there. Chase had messaged me the day before, asked me he found these at Goodwill. It says they are book covers for like an 8.5 by 10 book, but they're Georgia Bulldog. He's like, you want them? I was like, sure, we'll see if I can't figure out something, or my wife figure out something with them. They were 99 cents a piece. So he wouldn't take, I tried to pay him back. He wouldn't take the $3 back. But Chase, thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. Maybe we'll get something worked out on that Granddaddy Barlow at some point. Great looking knife. But I had such a good time yesterday. So I finally got to meet Justin, Cornbread, Dwayne Letterman, Chase, Randy, Jerry, and George. Only person I knew face to face was Nate. It was a good time. Like I said, the ones I got to talk to with quite a bit, I just really hit it off with them and felt like I'd known them for a long time. So really, really good time. And look forward to when we can do it again. Looking forward to the knife show at Dwayne's up in July, up in Kentucky. Blade show in June, which I got to buy tickets for my son and I. Keep forgetting to do that. And then Ellaville in November. So looking forward to those. Good Lord willing. If not, that's life. That's all right. So that's the plan. So we'll see what the future holds. But I pray you all have a wonderful week ahead. Stay safe. Don't do nothing stupid. Remember, do something kind for somebody else. It goes a mighty long way. God bless you.
The sword of truth, I stand and fight. In the armor of God, my future is bright. Sharpened like steel, by His word I'm made. In the battle of faith, I'll never persuade. The blade of His love cuts through the lies. With the strength of the Savior I rise, I rise, I rise.